There's a female dating strategy that labels men high value or low value. I believe it can be applied to people in general. It does make sense to not waste time with people that don't have your best interests in mind. I went on several dates with someone who told me her expectations for a high-value relationship. She mentions to me how nice it is to find a high-value male. She ends up telling me about how she and her friends are all about finding HVMs and that most men end up in LVM territory. I'm intrigued and curious, so I asked a few questions about it. She tells me that it was clear I was different early on when I gave her the AirPods, never asked her to split a bill, and was generous to her friend. Ouch, nothing about me as a person, just the things I have paid for. She then tells me that she believes in finding an HVM and made a checklist of the things she expects in a relationship. My take is good for you. Know what you're looking for in any relationship. However, I was not prepared for what was laid out before me. She should be his priority, not his friends or anyone else. She wants to feel loved, supported, prioritized, and desired. Access to his resources. These things include using my car, professional network, tax accountant, and Netflix. Quality of life. She's at her best when she doesn't have to worry about the stress of everyday life and can focus on making sure she's the best version of herself. This includes a $1,000 monthly allowance for her personal care, help with bills. Other things include an expectation of 3 designer bags per year, twice a year vacation with 2 of her girlfriends. A few other things that I'm blanking on now. The caveat: she obviously doesn't expect all of these things to start immediately, as we need to grow into our relationship. I've demonstrated HVM traits so far, like buying her AirPods and Uber. She wanted to be upfront about her expectations. We could choose which things I'd contribute to together. This discussion happened over a few minutes, but I think I went through a full range of internal emotions. I've never heard a relationship laid out according to so many materialistic things. What happened to this smart, interesting woman that caused her to have such a prescriptive relationship list? I asked her how all this came about. We had a great discussion about past relationships, and things became clearer. She was in a 6-year-long relationship with the guy she thought was the one, and he ended up being a loser. He worked dead-end jobs, never tried to better himself. She paid for most everything, and he always gave her empty promises. When they broke up, she promised herself she wouldn't waste time with another LVM. I have even more empathy after hearing her story. Sounded like a toxic relationship. We ended up having a really long discussion about relationships and what we've learned from the past. I asked if I couldn't provide everything she expects, would I be considered low value? Her answer was a maybe. I value to her because the list is what she needs to feel supported in a relationship, but I could be of high value to another woman because of my character traits. A lot of things she mentioned would naturally occur over time in a relationship. To hear it all laid out with prices when we're still in the early stages of getting to know each other was a turn off. We ended everything on good terms. I wished her well and hoped she finds everything she's looking for in a partner.